Hi, today I'm going to do some demonstrations and you're going to take some observations and then you're going to use those observations to determine whether or not the changes that I'm going to show you are physical or chemical. Pretty simple, right? I've got a bunch of different things to do, so to the best of your ability write down some observations. I'll try to show them as clearly as possible, and then you can use that information to fill out the sheet that goes with this. Okay? So we're going to start with a very simple one. I have a bottle of powdered iron here, and a great big bottle of sulfur, powdered sulfur. Paper towel. Powdered sulfur. Powdered iron. See if we can show you this a little bit closer. This is the change that I've done here. I've mixed together some powdered iron and powdered sulfur. This is what it looks like. Okay? So you saw what they started looking like. The sulfur is very yellow. The iron is black. Mix them together and this is what you get. Okay? So jot down some observations. Let me see if I can hold that a little closer for you. Okay? Number 2. Test tube. Take a small amount of this powdered iron and sulfur mixture and place it in the test tube. Like so. I am then going to hold this over a burner flame. Let's see if we can get you a little closer. I'm going to put this over the flame now. Watch for any changes that you see. See anything happening? You see that? Looks a little different now, doesn't it? It's also no longer a powder. Pretty clear color change. We had that smoke produced. Everything looks very different than when we started. Number 3. I have here a piece of magnesium metal. It comes in a ribbon. It's malleable, doesn't break, slightly shiny. It has a bit of a patina on it. I'm going to hold this piece of magnesium, shiny, gray, grayish silver, bendy, in the Bunsen burner flame. Now you want to be careful, and this is going to be very bright. You'll see in just a second. Okay? It's a very, very, very bright light. Some smoke produced. And what's left over at the end sort of crumbles. Not malleable at all. Definitely not shiny. Hydrochloric acid. some more magnesium ribbon. We don't need as big a piece this time. That should do it. Test tube. Watch carefully. Do you see what's happening? What do you see? See anything unusual? There we go. Now we'll come back and take a look at this in a few minutes. But you should be able to see some pretty clear changes happening right now. The other thing about this is if I touch the tube is a little bit warm. That's important. Next one, sodium bicarbonate. Sodium bicarbonate is a white powder, commonly known as baking soda. You probably have this in your kitchen. Hydrochloric acid. Pretty obvious change there. Watch again. Right. There's a pretty clear something happening every time I add the acid. The other thing that's interesting about this is the test tube has gotten very, very cold to the touch. Very cold to the touch. That's another thing that's very important. Next one. Test tube. This is a solution called silver nitrate. Clear, colorless solution. Ammonium chloride. Looks a little like milk. It's not milk. So we went from colorless to white. We'll take a look at that one in a minute. Next one. This is potassium dichromate. Potassium dichromate is an orange-colored clear solution. You can see through it. It's transparent, but it is orange in color. You should know what this is: hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide is clear and colorless. Here's our orange solution. Pretty clear color change. Matter of fact, all of that orange color is now gone. Sucrose, commonly known as table sugar. White crystals in my test tube. You've seen sugar, you know what it is. I'm going to hold this over our Bunsen burner flame. Watch for changes. Do you see it changing? What do you see? Look at the color changes. Look at this stuff. How about that? That's a pretty impressive color change, isn't it? Started out as just a little bit of white powder. Now we've got this sort of liquidy stuff, black colored liquid. We had some smoke. We've got a yellowish color towards the top of the tube. Very dramatic change. Ready for the next one? Candle. Now I want you to look carefully at what's happening here at the top of the candle. You see that? You should see something dripping. See that? Is that water? It's clear and colorless like water, but is it water? It's dripping right off the end. Now watch when I blow it out. What do you observe? Next one. Sucrose. Table sugar. White crystals. Some water. Mix it up. By the way, if you want to mix something in a test tube, this is the proper way to do it. Instead of putting your thumb over and inverting it, because if there's something in there that you don't want on your skin, you obviously don't want to put your thumb over there. Flicking mixes it up real well. All right. What happened to our crystals? They're gone. What happened? You can make an observation. The crystals aren't there anymore. You can also probably make an inference. What inference would you make based on that observation? There's a change. Crystals were there, now they're not there. So, hopefully you got enough observations down. Rewind if you need to. Watch them again. And the next step is going to be to figure out which ones of those were chemical changes and which ones were physical changes.